Hi everybody, this is Jenny from By Jenny Designs, and today I'm going to show you how to make my extra long elf hat. For this pattern, you're going to need worsted weight yarn in two colors, one for the mane and one for the trim, and you're going to need a size H or 5mm crochet hook, scissors, and a darning needle. I'm going to show you how to work up the size teen or women's, but I'm going to give you instructions on how to make all sizes 0 to 3 months to men's sizes. I will put up a little graphic in a second to show you about how much yardage you need of your yarn per size. To start this pattern, we're going to use a magic circle. If you don't know how to make a magic circle, I will show you. Place your yarn in your hand with the working side to the left. Place your thumb on top of the yarn. Wrap the end around your thumb and place it behind your working yarn. Insert your hook, pull a loop through the circle, chain 1. And now all of the sizes begin the same in this pattern. So for row 1, you're going to work 8 double crochet into the circle. Okay, now you can pull your circle tight, and we want to have the right side facing out. So we're going to just flip this up so the right side can be on the out. Keep your tail on the outside here so you can sew it in later. Go ahead and join with a slip stitch to your first double crochet. And now this is also again for all sizes. You're going to chain 1 for row 2. And then you're going to double crochet into each stitch around and work 2 double crochet total in the last stitch. Okay, I'm just to my last stitch here. So work 2 double crochet in the last stitch. And then go ahead and join with a slip stitch to the top of your first double crochet. Now you're going to be working this same exact row for a certain amount of rows. For the women's size that I'm working on, I'm going to be working 57 rows, making 1 increase in the last stitch. I will put up a graphic in a minute here to show you how many rows and what your stitch count should be for all the other sizes. So here's that. Okay, so I'm going to work up 1 more row with you, and then I will leave you to work until you reach your desired amount of rows. And then you'll need to come back here. We'll have a couple more rows to work, and then we'll work the edge together. So again, you're going to chain 1, and then you're going to double crochet into each stitch around and work 2 double crochet total in the last stitch. So each row will be increasing by only 1 double crochet. Two in my last stitch here, and then I'm just going to join with a slip stitch. So go ahead and continue working until you reach your amount of rows you need for the size that you're working on, and then meet back up with me here. Okay, so I'm here at the end of the row. This is row 57 for the women's size hat. And now we're going to work 5 more rows, but each row is going to have 2 increases instead of 1. So chain 1, and then I just want you to work your increases anywhere within the row besides here at the end of the row where you've been increasing previously. So just crochet double crochets into about here, work 2, work all the way around, and then work 2 double crochet into a stitch over on the side here. We're going to do that for 5 rows total. So I'll work through 1 row with you here, and then I'll leave you to work up the next 4 rows. Okay, so you can see here that I'm over here to this side of the hat. So now I'm going to work 2 double crochet into the same spot here. And now I'm just going to continue double crocheting around until I get to about the other side of the hat. See where we're at here. Okay, I'll work a couple more. Okay, now I'm around to the other side, so I'm going to work 2 double crochet into the next stitch. So that's our second increase for this row. And then I'm just going to make my way to the end here, double crocheting in each remaining stitch. Okay, when you reach the end, go ahead and join with a slip stitch. And now you need to work on 4 more rows that each have 2 increases per row. You do not need to worry about lining up the increases with each other. Just go ahead and stagger them out, and then meet back up with me after you've completed those next 4 rows. Okay, I'm just finishing the row here. Join with a slip stitch, chain 1, and now for this row we're going to work 2 double crochet into the first stitch, and then we're going to double crochet into each stitch around. Go ahead and work your way around, and I'll meet up with you at the end of the row. Alright, I'm just working up my last double crochet, join with a slip stitch, chain 1, and now this next row is our final row with the main color. You're just going to double crochet into each stitch around. Go ahead and work your way around, and I will meet up with you at the end of the row. Okay, I am at the end of the row here. Just going to join. And now I'm going to put up another graphic for you to show you how many rows and how many stitches you should have. This will be a final count per size. So go ahead and check that out before you fasten off. Okay, now that you've double checked that, you can go ahead and fasten off if all your numbers are correct. And now we're going to join with our trim color. I have white here. Oh, it looks like I have a couple ends, so here we go. Okay, so go ahead and make your slip knot. And then you can join to any stitch you'd like. I'm going to just join where we fastened off. So join with a slip stitch, and then chain 1. And now for this row, we're going to be working in just the back loops only. So go ahead and double crochet into each back loop only around. Okay, I'm working my last double crochet. Go ahead and join with a slip stitch, chain 1, and now for this row we're going to start by front post double crocheting around this first double crochet here. Then we're going to back post double crochet, front post double crochet, back post. We're going to do this all the way around. I'll show you a couple stitches here. So front post double crochet, then back post double crochet, front post double crochet, back post double crochet. Go ahead and continue this around, and I will meet up with you at the end of the row. Okay, I just have my final stitch here. Your last stitch of this row should be a front post double crochet. After you've worked your final stitch, go ahead and join with a slip stitch to the first front post double crochet you created. And now you can chain 1. And now for the baby sizes, this next row should be your last row, but maybe for the children's size you might want 4 rows, and maybe for the adult sizes you might want to do 5 rows total of your trim color. So for all remaining rows, just front post double crochet around all the front post double crochets you made, and back post double crochet around your back post double crochets. So go ahead and work up until you're happy with the amount of rows or how thick your trim is. And then we'll meet back here and I'll show you how to do the tail for the end of the hat. Okay, so I'm just working up my last stitch of my 5th row for the trim. After you have your final row, you can go ahead and fasten off. And now we're just going to need to sew in our ends. So grab your needle. Maybe, there we go. Okay, so go ahead and sew in your ends and then come back here and I'll show you how to do the very end of the hat. You can also sew in this end that you have from the beginning. Okay, so after you've sewn in all of your ends, you're going to need to cut 9 strips of yarn. They should each be about, well, for the adult size, about 30 inches long, and then you probably don't need them as long, obviously, for the smaller sizes, but we're going to be using them to make a nice long braid here. So go ahead and use your best judgment on how long you'd like your braid. And then come back here when you have all of your strips cut and I will show you how to join them onto the hat and we'll start our braid. So now to join these to the tip of the hat here, you should be able to join 3 at a time. Now down at the end, we're going to use the hook to just pull them through. So go ahead and stick your hook through the end here, just like this, and then you should be able to pull 3 through at a time, and then just pull them halfway through like this. Get your next 3. Okay, and then the last 3 here. Okay, now make sure they're all pretty even. Okay, now you're going to want to tie a knot here at the top. So do that by grabbing all of them, wrap around your fingers, and then make sure you grab all strands and pull them through. So pull this tight up here, and then I just go through and I pull each strand to make sure they're all in there nice and tight. Okay, and now you need to separate them into sections of 6 each. here's 6 there. And 6 here. And then we just need to braid. I'm going to work my braid off camera because I need to actually have this between my legs to get a nice tight braid. But just continue to braid as far down as you'd like. And you're going to want it to be a nice tight braid. So go ahead and braid. I'll come back when mine is all braided up, and we'll just be tying a knot into the bottom. Okay, so once you have your braid finished, and it's as long as you'd like, let's see, I'll measure mine here so you can see, have something to compare to. So the braided section is about 7 inches long here for my women's size hat. Now you're just going to make a knot just like we did at the top. Wrap around your fingers. Make sure you're pulling all of these strands through. And then pull tight. And then you can pull each strand. Okay, and once you've done that, you can go ahead and trim here. Just like that. So here's our elf hat all finished up. I'm just going to get it on the mannequin really quick and show you a quick shot of it on there. Thank you so much for watching and crocheting along with me, and I hope I'll see you again soon.